everyone. Welcome to this Monday, May the 5th. Happy Cinco de Mayo. We're coming to you live from the beautiful city of New Orleans in Louisiana at the United Public Radio Network at 107.7 FM and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network at 105.3 FM. We're on Facebook, we're on Roku, we're on Rumble, and we are on YouTube. We have a really cool show tonight because it's just us and you, our audience. I'm excited about that. And I'm just going to let Preston go. Oh, wait, one thing. Carnation, I want you guys to know that this is really good stuff. I've been drinking carnation my whole life. I use it for everything that I bake. In emergencies, we use it for emergency milk. I'm not kidding you. It is wonderful stuff. We used to put powdered milk and this in it, mix it 50-50, and it was good emergency or camping milk. It was wonderful. You guys need to try them out. We love them as our sponsor for our network. Thank you, Carnation. Okay, go for it.
Yes, thank you, Carnation. Thank you, Dolly. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on a very special night of the Lightgate episode number 106. I absolutely love our guest tonight because it's you. It's the audience.
Yeah.
We love doing a Q&A probably once every couple of months at least. And it's always so much fun because we get to interact with you guys and just, open up. I wish we had telephone lines. We're working on that. We honestly are. We haven't perfected it yet, but we're definitely working on it. But right now, just through chat is the way to ask questions. I already see a bunch of questions in there. But let me just say hello to all you lovely folks. It's so nice to see you guys. And yeah, it's a lovely Monday evening. And who do we have here? Peak, first in line. Happy Q&A night, everyone. And Peak, wow, you are fast. You got all those questions in.
Yes, she is. It's like she's already waiting in there. It's amazing. Thank you.
Kennedy, good advice. Don't forget to get your questions in early because, they come fast and furious towards the end there, and it's hard to keep up. I'm going to do my best.
Popcorn.
We have Olivia. Hello, Olivia. And we have Teresa Levine.
Yep. Hello.
And I'm going to put a star on that one, Charisse. We have Foggy Notions podcast.
Hello, Oggy.
We have Olivia. We have Dana Matthews. And oh my gosh, you guys. Charisse. Thank you.
Charisse. Thank
So
you.
nice of you. You guys are so
Nice.
unbelievably generous. It just makes me wonder what I did that was so good in a past life, or maybe even this one. Namaste.
namaste.
Wow. We love you. Namaste. Thank you so much. Happy birthday week, Dolly and Preston. Thank you so much for the Lightgate.
Thank you.
Both have helped so many with your efforts. Oh, that's exactly why we do this show, honestly. Because I remember when it began, Dolly's like, do you want to do this? And I'm like, I don't know. It's a lot of work. But, honestly, if it can help even one person, that's what makes it so worth it. That's the true reward.
I know. We should tell them the story of that. You were on Michelle DeRoche's show on the Outer Realms. And then I got brought on her show. And she's a producer. And we all realized that. And she made the suggestion that you guys should do a podcast. And we tossed it around for about a week. And then we called her back and said, okay, let's go. And we learned by the seat of our backsides real fast how to do it. There was a lot to learn because we don't have one producer, we have two. Joe Montaldo is the big guy in the whole game. And he put us on camera with him and he taught us everything we needed to know. We had to get all the little bells and whistles put in. It was quite the thing. And I realized at that time that running a network is incredibly intense. It's incredibly complicated. And those two people, Joe Montaldo and Michelle DeRoche, are
phenomenal
at what they do. And we thank them very much. This is an important thing that we should do from time to time. We love you both. And we thank you both so much for letting us on here. Thank you.
Yes. I did a radio show years and years ago, just a sort of audio show. And it was so much work. I gave it up after 1 year. So I'm really proud that we've survived almost 2 now. Yeah. Well, not quite. 2 years. We're at 106. So 52 weeks in a year, that's 2 years. Amazing. And we've only done it doing repeats maybe twice, 3 times.
Wow. Amazing. Okay.
So yeah, happy birthday, Dolly, coming up. So very
Thank
cool.
you.
That's
Yeah.
for both. This is our birthday week. Mine's
Preston's
tomorrow.
the 6th tomorrow, and mine's the 8th. And by the way, Michelle's is the 7th. So if y'all on the Outer Realms anytime this week, tell her happy birthday as well. It's very cool. And Carol Ann's show.
Ethereal Encounters
Yeah,
Unveiled.
that she's also a Taurus. I think today is her birthday, actually, or it was yesterday. It's amazing. Yeah,
Well, either way, happy birthday, Carol Ann.
a lot of Tauruses running around.
Okay, we have Jay Kirshenman. We've got a lot of people.
I'm from Virginia. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi.
We have Louise. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for the happy birthday wishes and for your tremendous generosity. Just lovely and
I love you.
wonderful and
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank you.
Such a wonderful, wonderful thing, you guys. We love you, Louise.
Yes.
We have Patsy Foister open mic night. I'm going to get through this quick because basically we're going to say hi to you all night long.
No, we're talking to everybody. Yeah.
So hello, Leah. Star Orchid, like gate time. Thank you,
Thank
Star
you.
Orchid. Oh my
Thank
gosh.
you, sweetheart. Thank you.
Who else do we have? Oh, well, Leah again. Okay, I'm starring all these questions, guys. So we have Rat Food. Hey, Rat Foods.
Hi, Redford. Cinco de Mayo.
And we have Bob Thorson. Oh, Bob.
Thank you, Bob.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ooh, there's another question I almost missed. I got it, Sorry Ray. Thanks for joining us, Sorry Ray. We have In My Opinion. We have Sunny Burnett. I like these. Yay. Me too.
Yeah.
Kaj Vardinghus. Greetings from Brazil.
Ah,
Thanks, Kaj, for joining us. It's amazing that we reached so far. Okay. Brian Morgan. We have
hi, Brian.
J.R. Amadeus Schiffer. Schiffer?
Hi, I'm
Say Schiffer.
Yeah.
We have Lucid Dreaming with Blind Psychonaut. We have Neil Robotham all the way from England.
Hello.
Wow. Thank you very
cool.
much for staying up late. Brenda Whelan, Love Carnation.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, you guys are amazing tonight.
thank you.
Wow. Thank you
you.
so much. Your generosity is so appreciated. You guys just have no idea how much I appreciate this. It really helps us to do what we do. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Absolutely.
We have OGG UK.
Hi.
Elaine. Actually, it looks like Elaine is her name. Ah, Sunny Burnett.
Hi,
Wow.
Sunny. Oh, thank you, Sunny.
Style.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. And Bridget Bambrick.
Wow. Thank you, Bridget.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank
That's
you.
just so wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Perry Smedberg. Hi, love you. Oh, we love you too, Perry. Thanks for joining us.
Yes.
Very, very cool. We have the indescribable Octoman.
Hey, Octoman.
We have Swervin.
Swervin.
In my opinion, we meditate Talada. Will he hear us?
Yes.
Oh.
You think about him specifically, and while you're meditating, what's your question?
Well,
you make an answer.
We'll cover that in more detail. I put a star on that because that's a good question, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, we have Wendy Parks from London, UK.
Oh, nice.
We have Becky Sloan.
Becky,
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wow, I am so honored tonight. You guys are amazing.
Very much so.
Lunar Dove from Ohio.
Oh, hi.
We have Sue Mulligan all the way from Ireland.
Hello.
Very cool. If ever I get to Europe, Ireland is on my list.
Yeah.
My parents went there. They said it was so beautiful. Lunar Dove. Amazing.
Oh, thank you, sweetie. Yeah, thank you.
If I start crying, please forgive me, but I just love you guys so much. Z Sun Dragon. Not staying in chat, but I wanted to say hi. Oh,
thank you very much. I love watching Z Sun in Michelle's channel too. He's always in there, and it's an honor to have you just break in here. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, we got quite a few people in here. We got Vet Girl.
Ooh.
I'm gonna start this question from Octoman. We got Good Morning from Oz.
Ooh, nice.
Thank you guys for delivering all these questions.
Yeah.
Taurus stands for excellence. I'll take it.
Go.
Okay. Let's see. There's another question. We got Osiris. We have
Nice.
Heidi Gall. We have
Hi,
Carl.
Heidi. Mwah.
Boy, we're keeping
Love
up
you.
at least 3 people late at night in England.
I know. I think 4 or 5 at this point. Yeah. Nice.
Very cool. Thanks for joining us, Carl Mid. Tim Houston. Let's see. We have quite a few people in here. We have Jeanette Denise Davio from Quebec, Canada.
Ah, Quebec. Okay.
Bonjour. I don't know if they speak French in
Bonjour.
Quebec, but I think so.
Yes. Yeah. Oui. Yeah.
Seattle Nick, how the heck are you all? I should start that one too. We're good. We're good. I hope you are too. We have Bambi Dudley.
Aw.
You are a good pair just before you are both Taurus. Yes, we're both Taurus.
Yes, we are. Yep.
Officially tomorrow for me and officially 3 days from now for Dolly.
Yep. Amazing, huh?
We have Guardian.
Yeah.
Okay, I really better get caught up here. Let me just say hello to the last few of you. JD McLean and Mountain Dan and Ruth Kleiber all the way from Ontario.
Hello, Ruth. Yeah.
All kinds of lovely people. But yeah, let's get started because I see a whole bunch of questions in here. You guys are awesome.
Oui.
Okay.
Oui.
So, yeah, before we get started, I do want to say we're giving 3 books away, like we always do on the Q&A. The contest will start at the top of the hour, but you can choose from either Schoolyard UFO Encounters or Inside UFOs. Now, if you have both of these, I do have a lot of books. You can just let me know which one. Go to my website, www.prestondennett.com, and you can choose pretty much any book. There are a few that are out of print. I might have to scrounge around a little bit. I mean, there are a few I don't actually have, but we'll see. I'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But yeah, get ready for at the top of the hour, and we will start the contest giveaway. We're giving away 3 books. So good luck to all of you with that. So much fun. And what else? I think that's it for now. All right, let's get started. My only question is, are you ready, Dolly?
Yep.
And let's see, what peak is first in line with the questions? First, let me pull down this banner because it's distracting. Question: what is the ET's relationship to love? How do they conceptualize love? What does love mean to them?
It is the basis of all of what they do. As evolved as they are, and they're billions of years evolved ahead of us, it is one of the most important aspects of all life to them. There are aspects of love that even people here do not realize yet. And it's an interesting climb up into what it means to love and be loved and to show love. And when I say that their ability to be in consensus with one another, total conscious contact, all of them all at the same time, you have to really understand what that means as far as love is concerned, because they don't see themselves. They do know they're individuals and everybody has autonomy, but their autonomy is linked to the very fact that they know that they're connected to everybody, and they understand that to the nth degree. And it is the first thing in the book. When you read Symmetry, Talata made a statement about love, as a matter of fact. And if you go back and look at that, you will know. And if you want me to read it to you real quick, I will, so that you understand what I'm talking about.
It's a beautiful short little poem with a lot to unpack to it.
Yes. And I got to pull it up. See, when he made me write it down word for word, when we were getting the book ready to go, and I said, oh, I have to do this. And so here we go. Okay, this is directly from Talata, okay? And it's titled, Be Strong in Love. Love is what carries through. Love is what heals. Love is the strength of life. Love has no limit. Therefore, let love become who you are. Let love evolve to its fruition. Let the light that is love burn brightly. Let its wisdom guide you to higher understanding, and let its power move you to teach its power to others. Love, be strong in love. That's their whole understanding of it.
Yeah, I just want to say a couple of things about it too. Love is the supreme emotion. It's more than just an emotion. I think it's probably the most powerful force in the universe.
Right.
That's kind of my opinion, but that's my feelings on it. But I will say, having interviewed a lot of people, I hear this one phrase several times from people that they say when they had an encounter, they felt, and this is an exact quote, a love like never before. They said stronger than it was with their spouse, stronger than when they held their baby for the first time. They said it was unconditional, pure, overwhelming, even to a point that people could barely handle it or almost felt unworthy. They have to love. Now, some people say ETs are not emotional. That's not true. What is true is there's those little AI grays who are not emotionally, I'm not sure what the word would be, Dolly, but not emotional per se. But yeah, ETs are emotional, and they can be incredibly loving to a degree that it's, I think, far beyond a lot of our own capacity to love.
We human beings. I'll tell you this. I learned this early on in my life. It shocked me when I put two and two together with what this is. If you are serious, if you understand the gravity of what life is and how it affects you, and you understand that love is at the bottom of all of that, everything that you do is grounded in love. I will also tell you that they don't use the word God, but they have a definition for what we consider God, as they call God the All Mind. And the All Mind is completely with them. We could be with it as well. When you pray, when you meditate, you're in connection to that, to the universal mind. And that love is incredible. And they learn to go into that type of love where we are supremely important to them as they are to each other. And we need to learn to do that for ourselves. We need to learn to love ourselves and then love each other the same way. There wouldn't be a lot of the problems that we have because of that. That's who they are. That's what they teach. And that's what they emphasize when they ask you to wake up.
All right. Very cool. Gosh, there's a lot of questions. You guys, you're freaking me out. Okay, thanks, Peak. That was awesome. And let's see. Peak got 4 questions in, so I'm going to jump forward and then go back to you, Peak. Olivia, have you had Whitley Strieber on your program? If not, will you? Thank you. We would like to, yeah. We did reach out.
Yeah.
But we've both been on his program. I've been a couple of times on, Dolly has, and I know I've been on at least 5 or 10.
Yes,
he's a wonderful guy.
We've had personal conversations with him, but he's busier than a one-armed paper hanger. And
I've never heard.
Yeah, if you're listening, Whitley, why don't you show up? We'd love for you to show up.
We'll reach out to him again. I mean, I consider him a really good friend. He's incredibly sweet, and we all know he's the guy who really brought this subject to the forefront of our society.
He's a founder of this subject on this planet, yes.
And has had so many experiences. So yeah, we'll see what we can do. Okay, going back to you, Peak, because you are quick. Question, are the metals, I love this, are the metals in ET craft a combination of 3rd, 4th, and 5th dimensional metals that all play together nicely somehow? Play nice together.
All right. We have, in the 3rd dimension, we're gravity heavy here, and our photons are all very densely packed together. And the metals that are here are so very, very, very heavy, and that's the point, okay? ET builds craft in the 5th dimension, and they use metals in the 5th dimension and some from the 4th. Hardly any, they might use minerals from the 3rd dimension, but not as many as you think, because they all have them in the 4th and 5th dimension as well. They have everything that they need. All the dimensions are all compact one top of the other. So what's here is actually there, but they have better access to certain metals because without the gravity heavy, it changes them. It's a hyper situation where the metals act differently in that dimensional space. So yes, they create their craft there and then bring them into the third dimension. It's been going on for a very, very long time. The people here can approximate them. They have a good, they've back engineered, I'm being honest about this, they back engineered a lot of incrementally, uh, not comparable, but almost vehicles that they have. They're not all the way there yet. They would like you to believe that, but they are not. Um, it behooves me to say this to the people who are listening to this show, other than the people we have in chat. And I'm talking about the outside influences, the military industrial complex. It is a message to you personally from ET. I've been told that given the opportunity, I should say this to you all. You are on the precipice of a decision that is going to turn for you in a direction you don't want to go. And you must turn around and go the other way. You must try to save humanity. If you do not, it is on you, not ET, you, for what's going to happen. And they're very well aware of what you're planning. They are very well aware of how it's going down. And you must talk. You must turn it around. That is the message that as you all hear this in this room, you must mirror back to these people and take it into your own hearts. We are the ones who are going to save ourselves if we are going to save ourselves. And this is the time. It is now. We have crossed the middle line. There is no turning back from this. We must now engage in doing things properly and rightly and with love, or it's all on them.
I totally agree, because I know these guys are listening. They monitor anything that's going on in the UFO stuff. Do the right thing. Understand that we're immortal beings. You know, you might be making decisions now based on your life here today, but you're going to survive beyond death, and you're going to see things in a whole new way. Right. Please do allow love and compassion and truth to guide your actions. It's pretty simple.
Right.
And absolutely. It's, you know, I don't want to say it's never too late, because it does reach a point where it's too late. You don't want to reach that point. So yeah, do the right thing. It's not hard.
Okay.
Oh, and I do want to say one thing, you know, regarding metals in third, fourth, and fifth dimension. I can tell you, having had some out-of-body experiences, if you see gold on the other side, it's an experience. Or emeralds, or anything, all the, you know, the metals. It's crazy different. Water is different. So I think there's something to that.
It's the light. It's what you can physically, it's what you can see in your body now in the third dimension. You can't perceive the entire range of light in the spectrum. You don't have the psychic abilities yet to experience it as you should. OBE, you get really, really close to that. And that's, you know, if you learn to do that, you're like 99%.
Gold is beautiful on this planet, you know, and emeralds and stuff, 100 times more beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, and the chips are partly built in the other dimensions, right?
Yes, mostly built.
What you mentioned.
Yeah.
Okay. Great question, Peak. Let me just make sure that, all right. Jumping forward again. Okay. This is an unusual question, John. Any experience with temporary soul walk-ins and spontaneous Kundalini awakenings during a traumatic time in one's life? Want me to start with that, Dolly?
No, I want to put something down right now. Your soul belongs to you. It is in your body. Your body is connected to it by your very DNA, by your DNA code. Your soul is, your frequency is matched to it, everything. And you cannot be impeded in any way in your own body by your own soul. People talk about demonic possessions. They cannot take over your body. All they can do is mess with your mind. Your mind is a computer, and it can be overwritten by a program from somewhere else, a frequency from somewhere else to confuse you and to make you act a certain way. But your soul belongs to you. You are 100% autonomous, intelligent, ethereal in consciousness. And this body is made for you, only you. And when this body exists no more, you're cut free from it and you move on. Your DNA goes with you. Your the energy prana goes with you. That's what carries the DNA with it back and forth, and you go on to another life somewhere else. It is almost amazing to me. If you meet people who are saying that they are soul walk-ins, you need to worry, because it's not true. It doesn't exist. There's no such thing at all. We are 100% responsible for who we are ourselves, and nobody can take that away from you. Nobody in this universe, in any of the dimensions, you are 100% you at all times. Now, your physical mind can be confused. Don't get me wrong, but it's still you. All right, go Preston.
Yeah, I think people have talked about this. They've experienced, like, I'm a walk-in, and I think there's a lot of confusion about exactly what's going on here. That is an aspect of you. Like Dolly is saying, this is not another person taking over a person's body, but you can absolutely open yourself up to what we might call the higher self, I guess, or other aspects of you, or raising your awareness, so to speak. I think that's actually what's going on here, because some people who are really lucid with this have told me exactly that. They're like, I felt like a new part of me.
Your consciousness is what's driving this body. It is also communicating with your physical mind. We've grown up in a society and a world that has damaged us, toxified us to the point that we lost that connection fully. Everybody's psychic, but it's only a little bit. Some people are more advanced than others, but
I think this is what people are feeling, though.
Right. That's why your physical mind is not aware that your consciousness is speaking to it, and it can think of it in a way that it's a walk-in. It's not. It's you, and you are who you are, and you're the only person who can indwell this body. Period. And your consciousness is trying to talk to you. I'll take you into a religious understanding of this. They say you have a soul, a conscience, okay, and it's in your gut where your heart is, not your mind. And when your heart and your gut tell you something's wrong, that's your higher self talking to you and saying, no, listen to me. That's you guiding.
It's you talking to you. Yep. Right. And as far as Kundalini awakenings, that's the same sort of thing going on, because we're all traveling down the pathway towards spiritual enlightenment. Right. And this can absolutely affect your physical body. In fact, all kinds of, they're called cities. These are what they might call superhuman abilities, but they do manifest. People suddenly have clairvoyance and remote viewing, immunity to fire. They can touch.
It's not the ritual of Kundalini that does it for you. It's you that do it for yourself. However, whatever path you take to learn how to do that, that's your path. It's not quote
unquote. You can feel the energy running through your body.
Yeah, because you don't need Kundalini to do that. You can do it for yourself.
Okay. Yeah, I think different cultures have different terms for it and different understandings.
Yeah.
Some of the Eastern cultures have specific methods to develop these abilities. Right. But really, it's all about raising your own awareness and wisdom. I think that is the pathway that we're all inevitably on.
I'll give you one more way to understand this. Kundalini is like going to medical school and you become a doctor. Okay, Kundalini could be another word for psychic doctor or for doctor of the spirit. Okay, and you're learning how to use your abilities to help heal people and work with them spiritually. All right, so you become a type of a doctor. It's not 100%. It's not infallible, but it's a good path to take if you want to do that. But you have to understand that it's not the thing doing it for you. It's you, and you're just learning a path to be able to use your abilities. That's it. Okay.
All right, sorry, I'm just looking at all these questions. Try to keep up. That was a good one. Thanks you very much, John. And popping back up to peak. Let's see. I don't know if I want to do that one, peak. It's kind of political, but okay.
I saw it. Give it. I want to say something about it. Okay.
All right. What do we think of Doge? Is there any specific budget analysis you'd recommend they do to help suss out shadow government spending? So it is relevant to this subject because there is a whole lot of black budget that is being devoted to all this, and it's time that we know what's going on.
They're trying very hard to bring the truth out about a lot of things, and when you vote for somebody to do a job, when you vote, like if you're in a company where every person who works there is invested in what happens in this company, like we are with our country, we're invested how well our country does. It's that important for you to understand that when you all take a vote and you decide that this person's going to run the ship and what is their agenda, and you're voting for that agenda, which y'all did, you voted for this, you need to allow them to do the job. He's only going to be in there 4 years. That's it. Okay. You could side eye somebody and wait to see what they're doing, but to get hysterical and freak out and go nuts and try to decide for this person who's already in office that you voted for or the majority voted for, you have to let them do their job and don't impede them or cause trouble. Let it happen. That's called trust. If you trust the people that you know, that you've given permission to, give them the benefit of the doubt. And
I think everyone deserves a chance.
Yes, absolutely.
I will give it that, but gosh, yeah, love will bring us together. I think that's right. All right. This is a good question from from Kay. Sorry, Peak. Okay. Well, I've still got your questions there, but I'm bringing this one up from Kay. Hi, Kay. Hope you're doing well. Love you very much. Kay is asking, do you think back-engineered craft can fly right now?
Yes, because they're not using exactly the same technology as ET. They're using an approximation of it. And yes, they can fly, but they crash too. A lot of the crash retrievals that you hear about are stuff going down. That's them going down because our systems are messed up. Our magnetosphere is way down, worse now than it was 6 months ago. And yeah, they can crash. They're not doing good. And if they fly low to the ground, it's not going to help them because the energy that the sun shoots into the earth is being jacked back. We're in circuit. It's an electrical circuit. The earth is just a node and it gets shot with energy, and that energy is amplified and sent back. And if you're flying something that's electromagnetic in nature, it's going to mess it up. Case in point, how many satellites do you think have not made it into space in the last 2 years? A lot of them, because they blow up in mid-sky, or they have problems where they can't even get off the ground, and they don't tell you the truth about why this is happening, but it is. How about all the problems that we're having with communications right now? This is all electromagnetic energy that is impeding everybody right now, and our sun is responsible because our magnetosphere, while our poles are changing, is way down, and energy is now at this point for the last 3 or 4 weeks coming in that they did not know was going to happen, and it's freaking everybody out who understand what's happening. We're seeing auroras that should not be igniting because we don't have that energy coming in from the sun, and yet we do. And that would mean our magnetosphere is now from 40% to almost 50. It's serious. Okay.
Yeah. I think they're also flying around right now, but basically what Dolly said, it's a different system. And I think that they're probably having a lot of difficulties as well.
Yep.
All right. Let's see. I'm going back up to Peak. Okay. You are so awesome, Peak. I love you.
Yeah.
And I love this question because this is, I don't know that we've ever been asked this. Have people on Earth ever gone completely extinct due to a worldwide extinction event before? Because you're talking about previous iterations.
Yeah,
and so how long ago was the last time?
Neanderthal. There's a whole bunch of them. I mean, down the line.
We have some Neanderthal genetics in us.
Yeah.
So they didn't go completely extinct.
Neanderthal, well, they mixed with us, so we're carrying their DNA. But as a singular type of people, they're gone.
So, well, here's the question then. Say there's a cycle every 12,000 years, is it?
Yes.
Does anyone survive that?
Only because ET comes in and rectifies it, yeah. They'll pull people off, yeah.
But are there people on Earth who actually survive it, living in caves or what have you?
All right, here's the timeline. We're waiting for a CME to knock us out right now, okay? And when that hits, worldwide, no power, nothing, grid gone, no rebuilding it. It's not going to happen anymore. There's going to be chaos, and there's going to be people trying to survive.
Yeah. But
those who can survive will, until our sun lets off a micronova, which is coming as well.
Which it does every 12,000 years is what you're saying.
No, every 6,000 years we micronova. 12,000 years for the CME.
Okay, so then the answer would be no. People, no one's ever gone extinct, but you certainly cannot live on this planet.
No, ET takes everybody off that's alive at that point. Between between the CME and the micronova, they'll show up. That's what
the last time was 6,000 years ago? or 12,000?
6,000 years ago, there was a water event like we're expecting with the micronova. The sun
Right.
is unbelievably full of debris right now, more than you can
Right.
possibly imagine.
So the only thing that survived was the pyramids and other
Yeah, it
megalithic
was big enough
structures.
to hang on while the planet went whoop and fell over and the water went. Yeah. The water,
Right.
the water will cover most of the earth, but it will slide up and slide back down. And there will be areas where people do survive that if you're still here. But you need to be underground at that point in very strategic places. And there aren't that many of them this time, not at all, because of the position we're in. And what's going to happen is if you're not underground, first thing that happens when we fall over, first, okay, let's be right about this. Timeline. My CME hits, all the grids go down, all the satellites fall to Earth. The space station, if it's still up there, it comes down as well. There's going to be debris going everywhere from everything we put into space. It's coming down after that CME, period. Okay, so you got to be dodging all of that. So you got to survive that. Plus, you got to eat, you got to drink, and you got to have some way sleep, because most of your homes are going to burn solidly to the ground because you're full of electricity and it is going to cause fires. If you have propane, watch out, they turn into bombs. If you live near a nuclear plant, watch out, that thing is going to blow because there's no way to stop the rods from melting down and causing radiational fallout in a boom. Okay, if you survive all that, then you've got a few years before the sun actually micronovas. When that happens, the sun hits off everything on the surface of it that it's accumulated for 6,000 years. And it's mighty. And this time it's really mighty because they're looking at it. That's why they send all those crafts to the sun to gauge how much stuff is up there, because they know it's coming back at us. And when that happens, the sun will throw out a punch of energy so strong. And already our mantle's breaking loose because of all the pole changes this time with the 12,000 year thing going on. Our middle, we got volcanoes popping off. We got two cycles at one time, 12,000 and 6,000 year cycle. That micronova is going to throw this planet over in a mighty way. First thing that happens is wind. And whatever position we are on the earth, when that happens and that wind hits, wherever you are, you can actually have 1,000 to 2,000 mile an hour winds, kind of slicing everything on the surface of the earth. You will not survive it. They have proof that this exactly happened 6,000 years ago. They know it. It happened.
And I would just add that nothing ever goes extinct because thankfully the ETs are pulling off plants and animals.
We're not the originators on this planet, just so you know.
Yeah.
We don't own this planet. Nobody does. They've helped us multiple times in different iterations. This is a big deal. When the planet slides over, our mantle breaks loose.
Okay, here's a nice controversial question.
Okay.
Patsy Foyster. I like this one. Serious question. Thanks, Patsy. With reference to Dolly's Everglade encounter in Symmetry, which for those of you who haven't heard it, she saw a reptilian and heard it thinking, lunch.
It was hungry.
Are reptilian aliens here? Yes. And do they eat people?
No, they do not. No, they do not. There's no reported case anywhere of a reptilian being eating a human being ever, not once.
I don't have any.
Damn right. That nobody does. Excuse my French. Sorry. I'm going to be very positive. What I misunderstood as a teenager was it was hungry. It saw me. If it wanted to get me, it could have. It could have overtaken me at any time. It gave me a chance to run, swim to my canoe, get in, and take off. At no time did it react to me and come after me at all. It left me completely alone. If it wanted me dead, I would be dead. After that, Talata and them had to calm me down about it. It took a while to convince me who they were, what they were, and why they were. Who, what, where, when, and why. Reptilians have been on this earth since the dinosaur time. They are people that live here just like us. They're sentient beings, and we've run into their territories, and now people see them from time to time. It is not funny to me that people have assigned them all this mysterious stuff. It's not true, none of it. They want nothing to do with us. They want to be themselves and go where they are. They know that ET is going to supposedly taking them off and have been taking them off to get them out of trouble, just like us, which they've done multiple times in different iterations. They are sentient beings. They do not eat people. There's no mythology even of them eating people. Nothing. So
yeah,
drop
it's funny because I've heard, one contactee I interviewed, a medic, asked them, "Are you going to eat me?" And they said no.
You don't
This
taste
was
good to them.
praying mantis
Yeah.
ETs.
They like fish. They like birds. They don't eat
There's
vegetables at all. Okay. And the Everglades is a good place for them to live because there's lots of fish out there. There's lots of, I don't know if they eat gators or not. I've never asked that question. I don't think I want
well,
to
they
know.
got to eat. They got to eat something. But
They
I
do.
suspect they're like most creatures on this planet, opportunists to eat, because that's the way this planet is set up.
In some ways, I think they're
Because
more
all the
evolved than we
animals
are.
understand that they are eternal.
Yeah.
And everyone who comes here, has agreed to come here. I think from a very high spiritual perspective, we
Right.
know that. I do think reptilians are real. I've talked to a number of people who, have their opinions about it. There's not a whole lot of really good sources of information on reptilians, honestly. Barbara Lamb, I love her as a researcher. She said she had a face-to-face encounter with one, and it was very friendly. There was another lady, God, I forget her name, but she had a wonderful encounter as well. So I think they get a little bit of a bad rap.
Yeah.
And I think their appearance is very frightening to people because of all those teeth, and they're quite large. But as near as I can tell, that they are a sentient being that have survived for a very, very long time, as have other alligators and sharks and other species on this planet.
Yeah, there's plenty of places for them to live. Trust me. One of the reasons I reacted the way I did is I had no clue this was coming. I'm very psychic. I can hear everybody thinking, and I heard it thinking with my back turned toward it. And I felt it back there. And so the very first thing, because I'm a ranger's daughter, and everyone ranger's daughter is, the very first thing is protect yourself. And I didn't even think about it. I just ran, okay? When I knew it was there, goom, goom, bye, see ya, woo-woo. And if I had turned and said, hey, how you doing? And had a telepathic communication with it, it probably would have been a whole different show. And I have never seen one since. So, and I would love to, but since then I haven't. But
I remember John Rhodes. He was going to write a whole book on reptilians, and it just never came to fruition. I don't think there's a single book on reptilians. But yeah, that's a good question because we don't really have a whole lot. So here's a very important question from Louise. My question. So what kind of birthday cakes will be devoured this week? Lemon. I like lemon.
I like lemon, and I like carrot. So it's like there's a lemon and a carrot in our future. Yeah. Okay.
I do like cake, as long as it's not too sweet.
Yeah. No sweet tooth person.
Okay. I'll get back to that next one, Peak, but I want to give Cherie's question here a chance. Did anyone see the House UFO panel on the 1st? So if so, what did you think of Eric Davis's commentary on the alien races? I didn't watch it, but I certainly heard about it. And I am not sure that these people are speaking from a place of experiential knowledge. There's a thing called belief, and there's a thing called knowledge. And people talk about, we have 5 alien races. We have 10 alien races visiting. We have 50 alien races visiting. And it's a trick question because Dolly has said this. I've said it many times, and you out there who are contactees have been told this. We share a common heritage. It's a misnomer to call these people different races.
They're not.
They're different ancestries. And I will say there's an endless amount of ethnicities. Yeah. It pretty much it's pretty much endless. So I think that's what we're dealing with here.
If y'all have noticed, I only talk about those that I know that I've had contact with. That's it. I won't make up my mind about anybody else that anybody says you have to prove to me that you've seen somebody else like that out of the horse's mouth. If you're talking about your best friend's brother's best friend, and that's what they said, and it was 50 years ago or whatever, don't even. What you want to do is find the source, and then you go from there, and then you make up your mind after that.
Yeah. I'm jaded when it comes to these guys on the congressional panels. I feel like it's all very tightly controlled, and I don't know.
Have a narrative.
I'd like to see steps moving forward, and this subject becoming popular and being discussed. Yeah. But I'm not sure we should be looking to them for answers. It's really people along the lines of you guys who are contactees, Dolly, researchers like Barbara Lamb, and Michael Schratt. I think he's a good.
Yes.
There's some really good researchers out there. So
Michael Schratt is one of the most interesting people I have ever met in my life, just so you know. He hasn't really had contact. Okay. He would love
he vets what he learns. He's.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I really like about him.
His ability to research stuff and find people. I mean, that's what he says. It's his mantra. I need to talk to the people involved. Period. The end. And he doesn't go past that. He wants to know who said what and and he wants contact with those people, because in his mind, that's the only answers he's going to get positively of what he's doing. And he's made contact with people who are in the know and understand. And he's very diplomatic too, which is better than what I'm capable of doing. My hats off to him. It's amazing what he's capable of coming and understanding. I mean, he has a real firm grip on the reality of the situation. Okay.
All right. You ready for the next one? Okay. All right. This is another one about the pole. Is the world going to tilt when the poles shift?
It's going to flop.
I'm sorry, Ray.
It's going to flip over like that. Here's the North Pole, here's the South Pole, and it's going to do that. Okay? And it's serious. It's really going to happen.
Yeah, Walter Rizzi, an Italian contactee, was told exactly this. I could march out a good dozen cases or more right off the top of my head where people have been told this.
Yeah. You want to know why they stopped digging Göbekli Tepe up? Why they've circled it and fenced it off and the government said, no more? Because the proof of that is in there. Every single iteration for like 20 different iterations or more, 27 probably, it's all there. It spells it out. And they started learning that as they were digging it up, and they went, oh no. And they've got competing religious people coming at them wanting to tear it up and stop the truth. So it happens. It does happen. It's going to happen.
Osiris, I don't like sweet cakes too. Happy birthday, Preston. Okay. Let's move along to the next question here. And this is one we just briefly addressed. But if we meditate to Talata, will he hear us?
Okay. I want you to understand that Talata is not a deity. First off, he is just an entity like we are. He's highly, highly, highly advanced. I'm not telling 50,000 people to go after him like he's the all-minder God. He is not, okay? But if you have a genuine question and an intention to know an answer and you would like it from him, you may meditate. I'm not going to stop you with him in mind and ask him, will he give you an answer? He's that gifted. He's that good. And if he thinks it's a good one and should be answered and you're ready to hear it, he will reach back to you and give you an answer. And
yeah.
A way to prove to yourself. So.
And basically, you can reach out to just about anybody. There are all types of really advanced people in this universe who are connected to you personally. Right. We all have spirit guides who work hard. That's their job. They watch over.
Not to mention the online is connected to everything. It hears you too, and it will download you if you ask for it. It's chatting. Doesn't stop talking or thinking.
We're all contactees, so kind of reach out to the person who's watching out for you, because I think to some extent we are all contactees, and Talata's probably not handling everyone on this planet. So
he's doing a lot right now.
Reach out.
Yeah,
reaching out is the important thing. Asking for guidance and listening, because when you meditate, it's not enough to ask. You have to stop and listen as well. And it can be very subtle.
You want him to prove that he exists, don't do it, because he's not going to answer you at that point. If you need proof, the proof comes from you. Your abilities will open you up to what proof really is. Okay? Please don't ask him to perform for you. If you really want to contact him and you have a really deep-seated message that you really want the answer to, that means you're on a path and you're seeking knowledge. But don't go to him to make proof of anything, because that might not get any attention from him. Okay? All right.
Yeah, asking for a sign would be nice. Okay, indescribable Octaman, it's time for your question.
Okay.
My question is, how can we get peace on Earth now? How can we make the ETs realize our government does not represent our ideals? Oh, they know. How can we do what the ETs want and live in peace and love? Pre-Palestine. Oh gosh. Let me start, if I may. Love is the simple answer. We come down here on this planet knowing it's going to be difficult. Our society is structured in such a way that it makes very difficult for people to look at your neighbor and see that this person is someone just like you. There are forces who are really trying hard to make us look at each other with fear and hatred and divisiveness. This is a very difficult thing. I'm not sure we're going to have peace on Earth for a very long time, not until everybody has to wake up. I mean, that's what it comes down to, or at least the majority. And we're nowhere near that. So it's up to each person to work on themselves first. This is my opinion, because once you reach that place where you allow love and truth to guide your actions, then people will look to you like, why is this person so happy? Why is this person so successful? The best way to teach is through example. That's my opinion. But yeah, I do think peace on Earth is essential to have open official contact.
One of the things that I want to stress for everybody, and I want you to understand it fully, is ET is not going to rescue you. They are our progenitors. As a parent, you should know, if you're a parent, that you tell your children what they need to know. And then you give them advice when they take the reins for themselves. And you hope, really hope, that they take to heart everything you say and what examples you set for them. Okay? It's still up to them to decide for themselves how they're going to comport themselves. We're a planet full of this. Everybody on this planet is a potential problem to themselves and others. They are our progenitors. They are our parents, okay? They're related to us. They cannot help us or do for us because we must do it for ourselves. That's our job to be here. We're in this classroom and they know it and we should know it. If you want the people who are acting badly to turn it around, you must expect that, intend for that to happen. And the only way you can do that is by communicating to them. If you develop the ability for them to hear you psychically, trust me, those people who are in power here will start bending back the other way. You might even get them, if we were all together in this, stop them completely and change everything. We're in a timeline right now. When I say we're at the edge of it, and that the message to them from ET is, you need to stop what you're doing now, is that they don't listen to ET. They haven't listened to ET. I doubt seriously they'll even consider what I say to them for ET. They have made a mess of our lives. You are essentially slaves on this planet, and you have no control over your destinies. None of you. The only destiny that you control as a whole is yourselves individually. Change yourself, heal yourself first. You become, because what's coming is that you're either going to decide to try to survive this, and when ET comes back, get taken off with ET, or you're going to meet your next evolution, your next evolving out of here and going somewhere else. You need to be ready for that. I mean, don't you think about it? What have I learned or not learned? What have I done or not done? What have I accepted or not accepted? This is all up to us as individuals. And that's more important, healing yourself right now, than worrying about whether you can turn the tide or make the world change or have ET do it. They can't. We're in control of this, not them. They're the parents, yes, but we're the children and we have the reins. It's our lives. Okay.
All right. Well, guess what? It's the top of the hour.
Ooh. Okay. Wow.
I'm going to give away 3 books tonight. You get your choice of either Inside UFOs. I will be sending this one if you don't say, but you can also have Schoolyard UFO Encounters. 3 chances to win. How we do this is we have chosen a number between 1 and 1,000. You each get 1 guess. The 3 people who guess closest will get a free book. And I'm going to have to go through the comments to keep up with this. So, yeah, try to guess the secret number. Dolly chose it tonight. I know what it is.
I've been broadcasting it for the last 2
If
hours.
you're super psychic, I'm thinking it right now. It's so funny because one of you, I forget who guessed it.
We have a really psychic person out
I'm sure you
there.
could call it
He knows
guessing if
who he
you know
is.
what
He's
it
very
is.
good at it. I don't think
But-
he's guessing. I think he comes
Right?
from the nose. Yeah.
So I'm going to pop up a question for you, Dolly. While here's one from Van Darkholm. Can you give a couple games to practice being psychic?
Sure.
And
Oh
I
yeah.
am going to try and keep up with the numbers now.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
please be patient with them.
Okay. So you go to this store or online. I'm lazy. I'll go online and get a really good deck of cards. Okay. Bicycle cards are probably the best, in the package. Have one or two of them just so you have them because you'll wear them out really fast playing this. You need a deck of cards that have, the shapes on them, the square, the circle, the squiggly lines, the star, the triangle, that kind of thing. And then, and they also have colors, red, blue, green, yellow, orange, and then you go get a deck of cards that has pictures of animals, simply drawn pictures of animals like a rabbit, a dog, a pig, a squirrel, a horse, the 7 big ones. And you come home with them and don't mix them all together because that's too complicated. What you do is you start with the deck of playing cards first. And all you got to do is sit it down, put a piece of paper next to you, and you're going to put a line every time you write on one side of the paper and a line on the other side when you're wrong. And then you start flipping the deck and you guess what color that suit is, like red or black. And you go through the whole deck and then you look at your percentages and see what you're doing. Then you shuffle the deck back up again, and then you turn that page over so you don't see it, and you meditate for 5 minutes, and then you go back and do it again. And you do this until you go from you'll start off at probably 35%. Okay, honestly. And then you start to see your percentages change. And once you hit 60, 70, and 80%, then you play it with somebody else because they're looking at the color to transmit it to you. Okay, you're not trying to see it in the deck. They actually see the color and they're transmitting it to you. And then you keep score that way. And you each take turns doing that for one another. You'll see your percentages go really high because it's easier to see it and transmit it for us than to just feel it from the card deck. That's the first game. The second game is where you take the cards with the squiggly lines and the numbers and stuff like on it, and the colors. And you must play with another person. They must look at the card and tell you if you're right or wrong. Please pick somebody who's honest with you and not messing with your head. Okay, y'all have to be really honest, 100% honest with one another. And you can't do it too fast. It's your first impression that's going to give you the answer that you need. You need to develop that. Your intuition will know it right away if you're seeing it. And that's what you want to develop, is your intuition to pick it up from that person's mind. And you play that. And I mean, just play it and play it and play it and play it. Then there's a game that you can play with your children in the house. Those same games, only you play with them and you transmit to them. And then let them transmit back to you, which each one of those things are. We tend to have more rapport with our children or people that we know, closely know, other than just acquaintances. So this isn't a game I wouldn't play in the bar. It would be friends and family and children, okay? Or the children in your family. Then there's the third game where you're looking at barnyard animals. And this is where remote viewing starts. Once you get good at the first 2 games, and I mean, we're talking 80% to 90 or 100%, then you're ready for remote viewing. And then what you do is you put a partition up between you at a table so you can't see anything. Put a piece of paper and a pencil on each side and the deck of cards either on one side or the other. You take turns and you transmit what you're looking at. You see it so that this person can see what that is. And then they draw the picture of what they're looking at. There are 4 things that you have to understand about remote viewing because you're not going to do it easily at first. You're going to see blurry, you're going to see colors, you're going to see maybe an outline like a pencil drawing, and then it will fill itself in. And you have to give yourself time, just breathe through it, be in meditative state when you do it. And when you're happy with what you're looking at, then you say, I'm ready. And that person holds the card up over the partition to show you what you were supposed to be remote viewing. Do not talk to one another. Okay. You say, ready, look, and put it down. Next. You use very slow terminology and nothing else while you're playing this game because you can confuse a remote viewer on either side of it by talking too much because you're relying on that part of your brain and not your third eye or your intuition or your psychic ability to see into that, what that person's mind is thinking and seeing. Get good at that. And when you're really good at that, then you learn to target remote view. Target remote viewing is easy. You decide on a target yourself. Don't do anything with anybody. This is personal and you have to prove it to yourself, nobody else. You decide, you pick a place in town that you want to look at. You decide where it's at, write the address down on a piece of paper for yourself. It's something where you know it is or you want to know where it is that you can get to easily, either by car or walking to it. Don't let your parameter be too far. Do it within, a mile or two. All right. And you mentally go there and see it as it really is in that time frame in real time. And you write down all your impressions and what you saw, colors, everything. Then you fold the paper up, put it in your pocket, get out the door and go look. Go find it and go look. And that's what you see. And then you refer back to your paper and you grade yourself on how well you did. You do that until you're really good at doing that. You are an absolute remote viewer at that point. These are the two most important things: intuition, psychic ability, remote seeing, which is remote viewing. Okay, those are the higher forms of psychic ability. Then you practice other things, because while this is all going on, you're going to start hearing people in your head. You're going to start having instances where you're thinking something and somebody else says it, or somebody's going to call and the phone rings. You're going to notice that you're amping through the whole way through all of this practice. You practice it all the time with your children, with your family, with your spouse, with yourself. It is a walking tutorial to yourself how to do this. You must live in this condition. Being psychic means you don't turn it on and off. It is always on. Once you open this ability, it is on. It doesn't go anywhere. It's there. You have to understand that you have to teach yourself to be correct in what you're perceiving and understanding, because you can't go off half-cocked or get emotional about it. There's no emotions in this, only your perception of what's going on around you. Meditation every day, twice a day is important, because you have to go within to go without. Your third eye will not open until you shut this brain, this physical brain of yours, up. Do not let it override or oversense or overtalk you. You have to let that which is outside of that frequency-wise come into you. And you'll get good at it. Everybody can do it. Now, here's two other things that you must do once you start on this path. You must stop drinking fluoridated water or bathing in fluoridated water. Do not, because that calcifies your pineal gland. It's like getting kidney stones in your brain, okay? You don't want that. And it takes time to detox that out of your body. It will break up and dissipate. Your brain will recycle it out. And there are certain foods that you can eat or whatever. You have to eat whole foods. Don't eat processed foods. You need to cleanse your body out. You need to research detoxifying things that you can do that are good for your body and help your body. Your endocrine system is paramount. Number one thing. This is an endocrine gland in your head. And you have to detoxify for your endocrine system first, because that's the key. It is an endocrine gland. It sees light and dark. It's your circadian rhythms, and it recognizes frequency, brain frequency, and frequency coming in at you. Okay?
Okay, Dolly, we're going to have to move on because there's a lot more questions. But yeah,
right.
You're going to do a whole video on that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. There's all kinds of things you can do. You can make up your own game. I did it with my family. We all just each wrote a location, put it in an envelope, and shuffled them all up. And have each person, guess what's the location in this envelope. It worked. It was fun. Or another guy, he's like, let's do remote viewing together. He put something on his dryer. I put something on mine. I guessed orange or lemon. It was an orange. I was pretty darn close. I kept seeing like a piece of fruit. And so yeah, it's fun. There's all kinds of little exercises you can do. But it's all about developing your ability to meditate, visualize, relax, and listen.
Right.
Okay. We got probably 3 people here who are going to win. We'll announce the number before the show ends. But yeah, if you haven't guessed your secret number between 1 and 1,000, we're giving a book giveaway. We'll be giving away 3 books. This one, unless you've already have it or you prefer this one. Inside UFOs, Schoolyard UFO Encounters. So, yeah, I love the guesses you guys are getting. There's still time, so please don't be shy and give us a guess. Okay. Now let's move to the next question. And I'm moving back to get peaks from the beginning.
Okay.
Peak. I don't even know anything about this. Do ETs find lithium useful in any serious capacity, or are they just way beyond third dimensional lithium use in general?
Well,
Lithium is a metal, isn't it?
yeah, it's a component of batteries. Lithium batteries are dangerous here because they have a
But
tendency to
don't they give lithium to people who are, having mental?
with mental. Yeah, it's a type of lithium. It's lithium is the chemical, but they can alter it or use components to meet it out, and they add catalysts to it, and so yeah, you can take lithium. It's supposed to help you if you. One of the biggest reasons people take lithium is bipolar disorder. Okay, and it helps regulate your brain a little bit with that. But they've come to realize that it causes endocrine problems. Just so you know, people who take lithium outright usually have problems with their weight. They gain tons of weight. They have side effects. Blah 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 blah. And there are other ways to overcome bipolar disorder. So it's a dangerous metal. Metal in your brain is not a good thing. Just so you know, it crosses the blood-brain barrier, and eventually you can end up with Alzheimer's from it. That's why it's so prevalent today in this world. So yeah, I'm not giving you medical advice, but I'm telling you to think about everything you do. Research, research, research. But as far as batteries are concerned with ET, they're way beyond that. It's a dangerous component of batteries now. They can burn and they don't use it.
Sorry, I'm just adding something up to see who's closer.
Yeah.
This is confusing.
Yeah. Someday you're going to have to tell me what you do for a job, what your educational level is, because you ask some interesting questions that makes me wonder.
All right, I'll have to do that later because I'm a little confused here as to which of these numbers is closer. Okay.
For somebody to hit it, right?
Oh my goodness. All right, I'm moving along.
Okay.
One guess, everyone, because
one, you'll drive Preston crazy otherwise.
I'm seeing a couple of guesses from you guys, so just one guess.
Yeah.
And I will have to give the first one that you gave. So, all right, sorry. Oh yeah, I like that question. All right. I think we've talked about this before, and I really don't like to comment too much on other people's claims, but I will, because all questions are on the table. And the question from Brian Morgan is, Preston or Dolly, what are your thoughts on Chris Bledsoe's claims that a massive shift in revelation will come on Easter 2026, according to the ETs he communicates with? I'll start with this one, Dolly. I met Chris Bledsoe. What a lovely man. I think he is absolutely a legit contactee. He was healed of Crohn's disease. You can't fake that. You couldn't fake his illness. You couldn't fake his cure. He's got witnesses to his contacts. So he's a wonderful, sincere, kind man who is a genuine contactee. He's very religious, which is awesome. We all have our belief systems. So I think that does have a tendency to color how we interpret our experiences, which is perfectly fine. There's, I'm never in a million years going to judge anybody because we all have our own pathway towards truth. I will say that I'm skeptical of exact dates when it comes to predictions. And some of the stuff he's saying, no, I don't agree with. I think I might interpret it a different way. Perhaps there'll be a huge awakening of people will suddenly have a realization. I'm not so sure it's going to happen the way he's painting it out. But yeah, he's a lovely man. I adore him. I've got his book. I'd like to get him on the show. I reached out to him at some point, but never really got back.
Yeah.
But sort of, that's kind of my take on it. I support him wholeheartedly. But do I think that there's going to be a rapture event? I'm skeptical. I'll put it that way.
I can only speak from my own experience and what I've been taught by ET. They give opportunity for us to understand what's happening to our planet, our solar system, and they give warnings. And they especially are interested in those who understand scientifically and are giving the right warnings to everybody about things that are happening. When you're cognizant of something, when you know that the sun is popping off, you know, coronal mass ejections, solar flares, solar winds, and other types of radiational energy off of it, and you understand that the Earth is in concert with it or in circuit with it, you know that things are happening. And when you study and you understand what's going on around you, you can make reliable predictions about what's facing us. This is a geo thing in our solar system that affects all of us, all the planets in our sun. ET has never directed me ever to give warning dates of any kind, and they wouldn't do that. That's what I was taught by them. Because once you put something into the mind of humans, we're very capable of making it happen. And that is the problem with that. So, that kind of thing where you say, this is going to happen on this date, you're now putting that intention into billions of people's heads, and they may all start working toward that intention and bring it to fruition. As we are our own worst enemies, and we tend to weaponize everything, that is a weaponization against the way you think and make you look for something bad to happen. It's a type of brainwashing, and they don't do that ever. I have never told Preston anything. I've never told him a date. I've never told him anything is going to happen, blah, 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 blah. Period, ever. The only ever, and it's not going to happen for me. You will never hear that come out of my mouth, because we are all in control of ourselves, and we are the ones who are causing all this to happen. All of us, not them. Please stop putting it on ET to guide us. Religion does that. Religion tries to tell you what's going to happen and give you dates and whatever, or we worship dates, or we're more in tune with that. Don't do it. Every minute you're alive is a new minute you're alive. Every present moment that you're in is the moment you're in, and you're 100% in control of that moment, and so is everybody else on this planet. Please understand that. Do not pay attention to that. Do not let it eat at you or make you think things, because nobody knows. It's even biblical. I will bring you to that. Nobody knows the time or day of nothing. Okay? Nothing. Do I believe in the rapture? I believe that our planet is in deep serious issue with our sun, and that people will meet their match, the end game, and move on from here. And if you want to call that a rapture, it's talking about that explicitly. Okay, so just think about these things. Try to make good sound decisions for yourself on what you understand and what you know, not what you believe, but what you know. Do that, and you'll do yourself a bigger service. Do not worry about every person who says to you, oh no, here, look there, look here, look there. Don't do it. You're in control of you. You have an understanding of what yours, and you have the ability to ferret out psychically. Don't go there. Okay.
All right. Yeah, I'm just going to repeat one guess only. So don't guess the winning number more than once. You only get one guess, and I'm taking your first one. But yeah, we're holding a contest to see who can get the closest number between 1 and 1,000. Closest either going over or under, and you win a book. I have 3 names so far, so it looks like we're pretty close to having a winner. But if there's a couple of you out there who have not guessed a number, please feel free to do so. But one guess only, please. Otherwise, we'd be here all night. And I'm sorry for those of you who are watching the repeat show. It's only for live listeners, so I really apologize for that. We'll figure out a way that this can be done, perhaps for people who watch the show. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out.
Yeah, I would like to bring up a question, and I don't know how I'm going to get you to it, but it's from...
I'm working my way through it.
Okay, all right.
So
look for something that Timbo brought up.
All right. I'm going to put this question up from Star Orchids, and I'll look for that one. But this is from Star Orchid 8. Question: what are your opinions, and the ETs, on the concept of mass meditation to co-create a better reality and easily overcome and or avoid what is coming? Blackout, false flag, etc. You want me to start?
It is important that we communicate with one another. And a mass meditation where we want to be in concession or communion with one another, as Whitley puts it, which is a beautiful way to understand it as well, is good. But we must do that in love. Okay. We can't control anything but ourselves. We can communicate with each other, and the power of that is immense. If you want to direct that toward those who are in control of the situation, i.e., war, things that can happen to us, nuclear attacks, anything to do with that, any sort of vice or attacks, we are capable of being in communion with one another to send that thought to them in mass. But y'all have to agree upon it at the same time. This is what we're going to do today. And you need to think that one through. It will be picked up by them. They will hear it. And it might turn them. I don't know. They have to be at least this much willing or understanding that they're picking that up. But it's worth it to try, because I have influenced people without even trying. And in my purview, like in my family, just thinking about it for a few days, how am I going to talk to this person? I need to communicate this to them. I need them to be in understanding with me. And somehow, before I even get to have that personal meeting with them, they come toward me with that intention to come into understanding. So we're capable of doing that, but it has to be in love. You can't force anybody to do anything, and you can't tell the universe what to do, because it is in this dimension on automatic. It's going to do what it's going to do. You're just here to learn how to react to it. That's all. Okay.
Yeah, I think that there's some evidence showing that mass meditation does have an effect on the population, because there was a study done where crime was reduced significantly during a mass meditation.
Right.
Once I was part of a mass CE5 meditation across the planet, I had a really good sighting on that night. So, I think there's something to it. There's been lots of studies on prayer being effective as well, and I think that is absolutely fits under this question. But like Dolly says, there's some things that are going to happen, and you can pray till the cows come home. But
yeah.
Okay, and what's the guess about? I just got here. It's a book giveaway. Guess the number between 1 and 1,000. Whoever comes closest gets a free book. One guess only, and it ends at right before we close the show. I will let you know what the number is and who are the winners. Okay. Let's see. What do we have here next on the question list? Okay. Leah is asking, Dolly, she knows who made the rings around Saturn or Jupiter.
Nature. the sun. When everything happened, we've had a few collisions, stuff coming in. We had a huge problem about 286 billion years ago. We had a rogue body come in and bash our planets around, and we've got the Kuiper Belt, we have the Van Allen belt and stuff like that, where things broke up and it's all around us. So yeah, planets have big gravity, and stuff coming in gets attracted to it, and the bigger the gravity, the more chance of that having rings. There are more planets than rings than Jupiter tends to have the bigger stuff around it, and other planets do too, but some of them are smaller pieces. Jupiter is not really in line with everybody. It got knocked out. It's like in the plane, it's slightly up and tilted above us. So its ascension and declination in the spiral with us and our solar system kind of got knocked out a little bit, and it took a lot of debris with it. That's why it has such big rocks around it. Okay.
Yeah, and I think that there's been a lot of scientific research into how the rings have been made. They've created models and actually done scientific experiments on this sort of thing.
Right.
It does appear to be a natural phenomenon. It's related to gravitation and electromagnetism, which are essentially cohesive or integral to each other.
Core on it. It's got a lot of electromagnetic core. It's very big. Okay.
All right. Okay. This is a comment that I would like to address.
Okay.
Because this is a school of thought in the UFO field. Carl Mids is asking, Ross Coulthart seems to be moving towards the demonic link to aliens. There are a number of, quote, theories people hold. The most popular one by far, held by those who research onboard experiences specifically, and those who experience onboard experiences specifically, is that we're dealing with extraterrestrials. It is by far the most logical explanation, in my opinion, and I think explains the evidence far better than any other. There's, of course, all kinds of theories people are bouncing around that are purely speculative. And demonic is definitely one of the theories people are pushing around. If you look at the books behind me, I've got a whole shelf on demonic manifestations, all the way to biblical studies of it, real ancient writings on it. It's not what you think it is. That word was used very differently several hundred years ago. And the short answer is no. Extraterrestrials and demonic phenomena are 100% separate things. I don't believe it for 1 second. I've interviewed people who've dealt with these negative spirits. It manifests in a very specific way. The onboard experience follows a fairly set sequence of events. They're entirely different. Don't conflate the two. They're not the same. My opinion based on my research. You want to address that, Dolly?
You said it well. I'll go with what you said.
Okay. Yeah, please. I urge everyone to do their own research on this. Okay. Jenny, I like this one. Hi, Dolly. Hi, Preston. Any tips when experiencing a dry spell regarding astral projection? Boy, have I been there. Yeah, I have some tips. One is, don't worry about it. It will come back. Do what needs doing in your life, because what happens is we become overwhelmed with life, and we've got all kinds of goals we're trying to achieve. We're procrastinating. We've got so much going on in our head and so much going on that we don't have time for it. That's one of the things. So just get everything done that needs to get done.
Also consider what's in your environment. If you're in a place where there's a lot of wire around you, a lot of Wi-Fi, if you're constantly walking around with your phone and sleeping with your phone, you need to stop. You need to turn your Wi-Fi off at night. You need to Faraday your phone. You need to give yourself radio silence, because that does interfere with your being able to remember or have a complete, OBE, out-of-body experience that you remember. You also remember that anything you watch on TV or listen to on the radio, if it's all negative all the time, or you're angry all the time, or you're, just mad at the world, stop, because that your brain won't shut down and let you remember anything or do anything that way. It ruins your meditation, all of it. You need peace. You need silence. Go outside, ground yourself, drink better water. I'm serious. You need to look at your environment and see what's going on around you, because too much coming at you is not okay. It'll stop you dead in your water.
Yeah, just meditate, start reading astral travel books again, exercise, be with nature, don't watch too much TV.
Learn how to play an instrument.
Really intend to do it, sleep a little later, go to bed a little bit earlier. All these things will help. Yeah. But, just have faith it'll come back, because it will. Yeah. I had a dry spell that lasted over a year. I actually consulted a psychic. I'm like, it's not happening. Have I lost this ability? And no, it will come back. I do want to address another thing regarding demonic theory, because what happens sometimes when people have an encounter is they'll have a poltergeist outbreak. And this causes some people to link these two subjects together. And that's not what's happening. It's you causing these objects to fly around. This took me a while to figure out. But when a person has an encounter, it kind of increases their bioelectric field. This is my theory. They become psychically awakened to some degree, because when you're around ETs, they're very psychic. There's interdimensional things going on when you're brought up into the craft and brought back. This is one of the reasons we have missing time. It's the same mechanism that causes us to make dreams very hard to remember, because we're essentially, traveling between dimensions. But yeah, poltergeist outbreak doesn't mean that this is demonic, but people can be dealing with both things at once. You can have a demonic attack and be dealing with extraterrestrials. That's not at all unusual, because people who are, along the pathway towards spiritual enlightenment start having a lot of stuff coming at them. So I just wanted to clarify that a little bit. Okay. Guardian. Question. Hypnosis is used to regain memories of ET encounters. Would or do both of you trust the process? I'll start, I guess. Yes, I absolutely think it's a wonderful, valid tool, but I'm going to give some caveats for this. It has to be done by somebody who knows what they're doing, who doesn't have an agenda, who is coming from a place of love and is not fear-based. Because when you go under hypnosis, you become very psychic and you can start picking up from the mind of the hypnotist, and they can unintentionally lead you. Leading a witness is not near the danger people think it is. Well, hypnosis is really just a state of deep relaxation. That's all it is. But people can certainly be given suggestions, post-hypnotic suggestions, I call it, which are very effective. Done correctly, it's absolutely effective. It's been proven again and again and again. There are a number of studies where it's shown to also create false memories. So it's still quite controversial. But if you talk to people who specialize in this, like Barbara Lamb or Yvonne Smith, they will tell you similar things. It does work. I only recommend it if a person has a very clear-cut case of missing time and it's causing issues in them living a normal daily life. If you're having extreme problems with insomnia and anxiety due to an encounter, well, yeah, maybe I would first recommend writing everything down that you experienced that you can remember consciously, so you don't start mixing your hypnotic recalled memories with what you consciously recall. Try dream work, try meditation, try all these methods first, because that is, in my mind, I don't want to call it a last resort, but that's kind of how I would put it. I know people who've gone through hypnosis and were so glad, and it was lovely, and they got a lot of answers. But I know others who felt like, no, I'm not sure I even trust what I recalled, and I feel a little bit ambivalent about it. And for some, it's opened up a can of worms because they were exploring one incident and they got 20.
Yeah.
So there's some things to consider. But yeah, it absolutely works. And there's some studies that absolutely prove this.
Yeah. I would like to add something. I want you all to realize that with our magnetosphere being down like it is, we're taking on loads and loads and loads of electromagnetic radiation that affect our bodies and our systems and your physical mind. And one of the things that happens when we have a CME or a solar flare or coronal, solar wind or whatever, some things come in and they can affect your heart, they can affect your mind, they can affect your body systems, your nervous system. And right now I'm telling people that you need to Faraday yourself when you know that this is happening. And you can go to certain websites. I've given out information about that. The NOAA website for the sun is out there, and it will tell you what energy is coming at us and when it's coming. It give you a countdown. Or you can go to the Observers channel with Ben Davidson, and he reports that every single day. And you need to know when to protect yourself from it. You need to know where to find Faraday clothing. It's important. 50 years ago, people were wearing aluminum hats and saying, I need this, it's protecting me. And they used to get picked on for being crazy. They weren't. They intuitively knew that something was messing with their brains, but they couldn't quite put their finger on it. And we're taking, like I said, massive, massive amounts of radiation that are hurting your body, your endocrine systems, your immune systems, everything. And you need to start sleeping with it at night or wearing a Faraday hat during the day to help you block that from affecting you.
All right, I want to pop this up real quick from Osiris. Question: Preston, why nobody can hypnotize me? Only your videos. First, thank you. But yeah, some people don't need it because you're already awake. Dolly is a good example. They tried to hypnotize her, and they're like, well, she already remembers.
I already remember. Thank you. Not a problem.
Some people are very suggestible and very hypnotizable. Others, it's just not going to happen. Yeah. So that's not fully understood why, but I think it has something to do with how good your memory is and what kind of grasp you already have and what's happening to you.
Yeah. Astronaut Mitchell tried to hypnotize me when I was 14, and he found out that I couldn't be hypnotized. He's the one that figured it out first. He told my father that she's already awake, she's simulcasting. There's, you just talk to her, openly talk to her, and tell her, what you know, because she's not going to accept anything less, and which was true. If some people will try to tell you that you have control issues. No, you don't. If you're in your own mind, if you understand who you are, what you think, you're capable of recalling things on your own. So you can do relaxation techniques. That's why meditation is so important, because you can replay the truth in your own mind from your consciousness. It's not a problem. So if you're not hypnotizable, don't worry about it. You can do this for yourself. And there's ways to do that. And there are books about that. I would tell you that transcendental meditation can teach that to you. Robert Monroe about out of body, he put some stuff in his books about that. Preston's written about it. There's all kinds of places where you can go, resource yourself, look this stuff up and read about it. You'll figure it out.
All right. It looks like we have about 30 questions more.
Okay.
We'll try to get through it, guys. So if you're putting in new questions, we're not likely to get to them, but we'll give it a try.
Yeah.
Okay. Steve Wonder, what are your thoughts on Elizondo? I'm an experiencer and I don't trust him at all. I will just make this quick. Kudos to anyone who enters this field. I have problems trusting people who come from the intelligence sector. I think there are valid whistleblowers. I think there are some who are being manipulated. And I think there are some who are agents. I'm not saying he's any of those. He did just have a real bumpy, rough spot here when he released a photograph which turned out to not be valid. And I don't like the name of his book, Imminent. I think it's misleading. But that's all I can really say, because I don't want to badmouth anybody. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything. I'll say that. Dolly?
I will tell you, you need to trust your intuition. That's what I'm going to tell you. That's how you feel about it. Trust your intuition. We all have the ability to know if somebody's BSing us or not. Okay. We all have the ability to know that there is a military industrial complex and they have a narrative and they're not going to tell you everything you want to know. And I'm going to give you another message from Talara. Okay. I want you all to take this one to heart. Very much so take it to heart. There's no other way to do it. I have to bring it up. Give me a second. It's very important that you understand this. Okay. Hold on a second. It's going to take me a minute to get to it. Things happen and then months go by and it's like, oh, wow, I'm going way back to get this one out. I want you to listen to every word he says to you here, because this is exactly what you need to remember about this situation. Disclosure from those in authority over humanity will always tactically use plausible deniability. Their agenda supersedes all humanity. Our reality is their construct. It is their power and its weaponization which impugns all explanation to humanity. Therefore, learn all that is learnable. Understand each of us must use our abilities to discern our position in this paradigm. Wisdom is your freedom from their tyranny. Please understand what I just said. It's on my Facebook. It's in my, you got your picture and then you got the stuff in the background. That is in there. Look it up. If you're friends with me on Facebook, go find it. It's there.
Yep. Knowledge is our greatest tool here. Look, and just going back to the Lou question, I think if you really want to find answers,
Right.
You need to talk to the contactees.
Right.
Those are the ones who have the real information about what's going on.
Right.
Okay. I haven't found the question that you're looking for, Dolly, but hopefully we'll come up to it.
Okay.
Because I didn't see anyone by the name.
It's down toward the end. It's T-Bone or T-Bow. Okay.
I didn't see anyone by that name. But,
It's
all
down
right.
there.
But here's one from Rat Food. How does one practice CE5 if ET isn't here? Would love to go out on a nice night and make contact with ET. But you can through meditation and telepathy, and they do have the ability to make themselves known in what we would term much more like a
An OBET.
yeah.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, they can bilocate and it's hard to explain this, but they can show themselves to you while they're really not here, but you're seeing it psychically. That's why they want you to get your abilities up. I am actually able to see Mama when she talks to me. I can see her psychically. We can talk eons away from each other, but I can see her and hear her. Talada, I don't really see him. He is a non-corporeal fifth dimensional being. He comes into me as pure intellect and pure mind. And so we talk all the time. We're very connected because of what I flying with him. It's a connection that I don't break and not deceive. So I can talk to him anytime I want. But you have the ability to get good at just that very thing. And if you want to make contact with them, they will do it psychically with you. They will.
Yeah. Well, Angie says it's Timbo. I believe Dolly.
Timbo.
I don't see your question, Timbo. So if you want to drop it again, I will.
I'll read it. I'm going to read. I'll tell you what. I'm just going to read it out because I want to. It's important to me. I want to answer this one.
Okay. There's Edgar Mitchell.
Yeah.
That.
No.
So I don't see it, but
Let me go back to it. Hold on. There's a lot of stuff in here. Timbo. Ugh.
All right. Well, while you're looking for it,
Okay.
I will go to the next question, which is flea market gold. Dolly, do ETs ever wear jewelry or adornment?
Mama doesn't, but I've seen other tall grays wear like an emerald, like some sort of jewel or gem. Sometimes they will make bracelets and wear them. Other ethnicities of ET are very ornamental, and they will wear all kinds of different kind of stuff that they make or they have given to them. But it's mostly natural things. You're not going to see anything too ornate with them. You're going to see something that has personal meaning to them or spiritual relevance.
Okay, I found Timbo's question.
Okay.
I'm not sure you're gonna like it.
Oh yeah, I'm ready. Go ahead.
Okay. Thanks for asking again, Timbo. I'm sorry if I overlooked that, or apparently I obviously did, so I'm sorry. But I'll ask again. Is Elena Denon being deceived, or is Thor Han legit?
I want you to understand that Thorhan does not exist. Thorhan is not legit. He's a construct. He's misinformation and disinformation from governments who want you to think something about this guy. Elena Denon is probably a beautiful, sweet soul. She is an artist. She is gifted. Oh my God, she's gifted. But her gifts do not lie in reality. They lie. They're surrounded by delusion and misinformation and disinformation. And I can't tell you personally what she thinks or how she believes or why she believes it. All I can tell you is that I know that Thorhan does not exist. And I have no concern over what she says or what she does. And neither should you. If you want to believe in what she says, tell her to prove it. That's what I say. Does she have pictures of him? Does she have videos of him? Does she have videos of his craft? And until that happens, you need to seriously consider what she says. I've made the decision to say this about her. The woman is a gifted, constructive sci-fi writer. She has the gift of communication in ways that I can't even begin to have myself. I don't have that ability at all. But I want you to understand that she is weaving yarns. And until she can prove what she says, please take it with a grain of salt. Prove it to yourself one way or another if it's true, legit, or whatever. I don't take it from me.
Dolly has said the same thing about herself. Don't believe my story. Dolly has said this. It's up to you to do the vetting. And I will say, with being perfectly diplomatic, that her research does not match what I've found out talking to other contactees. So you can, interpret that how you may. Yeah. I've never heard any story quite like that. There are such things as outliers, certainly, but that's how.
Or does not exist. No.
I can say for sure that I've never heard anyone talk about a gray queen or selling planets or
nobody knows anything in this universe. I want you to understand that the universe is the universe. We're just here. It's temporary residence in the third dimension. We come and we go. You can't take it with you. We know this. This is a fact. In your reality, you should understand that when you pass from here, what's going with you? The only thing you're taking with you is the knowledge, your wisdom, and love. That's it. You're not taking anything. Nothing belongs to you here. Nothing belongs to anybody in this universe anywhere. And ETs are evolved enough to know that war is an abomination to ETs who are that advanced. They don't run around warring with each other. It's not the way it is. If you've heard about wars in our past, like the Vedas and all that, that's us. With technology, it's not them, it's us. That's another iteration. And we did stupid things and we're about to do it again. We've got back engineer stuff and we're about to start false flag wars all over the place. I want you to understand that that's about to happen again. This iteration is coming back around and we're stupid enough to do it. Please think about this. Please, I want you to really use your powers of research and vetting.
Superpowers.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So we're going to try and go through these last ones pretty quickly because we have like 15 minutes.
Right.
Actually, a little less. Freddie Moon. Question: do you both follow recent studies, ancient findings, keep up with what scientists are finding today? Are you ever amazed or surprised at what they find? It's hard to keep up. This is a day and age where there's a lot of misinformation and disinformation. I think science is amazing. I love it. And yeah, I try to keep up. It's difficult.
I do.
It's hard to answer that question without.
I absolutely keep up with it. I know what's going on, but I also have the advantage in that Talata is vetting me through it as well. Okay, I have ET support, but yes, I do go out and look at it and listen to everything. You don't know what I do during the day. Preston can tell you I watch everything everybody says. I watch what everybody does. I'm completely aware of what's happening.
Following some physicists very closely.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question from Canadian Skate. Have you seen Linda Moulton Howe's video where magnets stick to an abductee lady? If so, what do you think about it? I haven't seen it, but there's something called magnetic people. I wrote about this in my book, Human Levitation. It's actually, I think, a biophysical product of the human body, which is not fully understood. But
yeah, you also don't know if this woman's had surgery and if she's walking around with a ton of metal on her body, okay? Or if she's had shrapnel or whatever. Don't go there. Don't even play with this. Unless they can prove it scientifically and they can lay it out on the table and show you pictures and everything, all her scans, and know everything about her physically, her whole past and everything, just please leave it alone.
Yeah, but there are cases of this throughout history. Magnetic people where forks and stuff will stick to them.
How many times have they been shot with an arrow and the arrow's still in them as well? Like I'm saying, if they got a lot of iron in their body and I have tons of platelets. One of the weird things about
I'm just saying this is turned up in many cultures all over the world.
I know, but unless you see proof of it right now, that Linda Moulton Howe has the ability to prove everything she says, but she doesn't. She just says it. She says she has the proof, but she doesn't show it. Show it, Linda. Let's see it. That's what I say. I
think it's possible because I've heard of this many
I'm not playing with this. Unless she shows it, don't go there in your head. Don't even entertain it. Okay.
Tell me about synchronicity. Well, that's an open-ended question, Barry. I think synchronicity is, well, they call it meaningful coincidence, but I think it's more than that. I think it's evidence of guidance. I think of you listening to your intuition and then boom, like, wow, I was just thinking about that. I think that would be a simple explanation of putting it.
We also look for signs. Humanity, portents, whatever. We're all brought up to pay attention to these things. It's a way to be intuitive without realizing you're doing it. As you're going through life and you see this happen, it lays in your brain, right? And then something else happens and you make this psychic connection to the two things. And you go, maybe I should be paying attention to this. Maybe I'm trying to tell myself something. And that's what a synchronicity is. It's you trying to get your attention. Your consciousness is constantly trying to tell you things, and that's what a synchronicity is. And it's showing you the way, literally.
Okay, moving along. We're not going to get to all of these, but we can try. Dana Matthews, what is the trick? Sorry to laugh, but I've dealt with this. What is the trick to convincing your family, who are all non-believers, to at least understand a tiny bit of what knowledge we have? Patience.
Just be yourself, be truthful to yourself and what you know. And they're either going to ask you or look at what you say or try to figure it out for themselves. You can't force anybody into knowledge. They have to research it for themselves. You're asking questions. You're trying to find knowledge. Proud of you, okay? But not everybody's not on that path. And you just have to be patient, like Preston said, and love them through it. That's all you can do.
Yeah. My brother kept saying, stop talking about UFOs. One day I brought in a police tape I'm like, just listen to this, would you? And he got a little bit quiet. And he's like, okay, that's pretty interesting. That
Yeah.
convinced him a little bit.
Yeah.
My dad he never budged. Not to the day he died. Never read anything I wrote about UFOs. Which, it's fine. He knows now, I bet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think just don't be preachy. Just do your best to be loving and let them know that, these are experiences that.
Yeah, and like a lot of us, we have people in our lives who absolutely reject it and won't talk to you anymore or whatever. They separate from you. Please be understanding about that too. It's going to be hurtful to you for a while. It's going to be like, oh, I love you. Why won't you talk to me? And you have to just love them through that too. Everybody has the right to their autonomy and what they know and understand. All right. And you just have to love them anyway. Be patient. Don't yell at them. Don't try to force it. It'll happen if it happens. That's all.
Next question from Chi. Dolly, during the conversation with Michael Schratt, you were talking about flight characteristics and you mentioned skipping. Please explain. And TYVM.
Yeah, I use the word skiff. He uses that word to me. They taught me, and it's funny that the government calls a private chamber a skiff. I died laughing the first time I heard that. I went, "Wow, that's interesting." Skiffing is when they're powering up, okay, and they're gonna get ready to either go up, down, one way or the other, okay, and their power is they have to repel the magnetic energy underneath them one way or the other, and they have to move the craft into position for that relative to where that power is, where that magnetic resonance is. So if I'm just hovering, okay, in flight, and I'm on top of a very positive field line, I'm in negative so that I'm repelling it. And if I want to move off that line, I have to raise up and push away, either forward or backward. In other words, I need to attract or repel that line. And the only way I can do that is to raise up this way, increase my energy to either attract it or detract it. And that's called skiffing. And if you ever seen magnets floating around, you have to understand that the way y'all are being presented with it, it's kind of, it has to do what it does because they don't have the ability to power away from it or to it. But magnets either repel or attract, and they're learning that technology. They do know how to do it, and that's called skiffing. And you'll see a craft actually lean up on its 45 to 80 degree angle because it's powering away from or attracting that line. So we can go this way, this way, this way, or this way. And that's what it is.
Yeah. I'm just going to jump back to one of the questions regarding jewelry. Yeah, I have read of cases of this. It's pretty rare, but occasionally that has turned up. I like this question from Leah. Sorry, I skipped some of these questions. I'm going back. Are things on the other side alive?
Yeah. You are no longer, okay. Your consciousness, your who you are is pure light. What you understand about light is light has form. You actually are solid in a different way. Right now, you're so gravity heavy that all the protons that make up the cells of your body are so dense and so tightly packed that you can't see the light that you really are. All light is made up of protons throughout the entire universe. And your consciousness is a mass of intelligently connected protons.
Yeah. I think the problem is actually terminology. The term life and death are misused.
Yeah.
You don't really die. That sounds like it's an extinction. And on the other side, there are things that are organic and inorganic.
Right.
So life actually does persist.
And don't go to transmutation. That's not what it is. You are who you are. Your consciousness, your ability, all of that is in this body, indwelling it. Okay. The energy that you are, the light that you are is in there. Okay. You have a physical body that's formed to comport who you really are. And when this body is no more, when it gives up and it ends, then you take all of that energy with you. The physical part of it, the chemical parts of it, the water of it, go back into the environment that it came from.
We're almost out of time, Dolly.
Okay, all right.
One more quick question that's related to this. Do you believe in reincarnation?
Yes. I don't believe in it. I know it. I've reincarnated. So have you. I remember mine. You can remember yours as well. Okay.
I don't see any ones that we can get through real quick. Dr. Greer, how do you feel about him? Well, I think he's done some good work. I don't agree with everything he's said. Okay, we should, Dolly, we can't answer that in 3 minutes.
I am not. No. Another day, another time, another place.
Okay, we kind of have to close up the show, you guys. I'm sorry I didn't get to some of these
So
questions.
who won? Who won? I want to know.
Okay, well, the secret number to win the book Inside UFOs, or if you prefer, Schoolyard UFO Encounters, was actually 921. So thank you all for guessing. Dolly picked that number. I thought it was a little high, but she's like, well, no, we have to bounce it around.
If you add it up, it's 12. I love that number. Yeah.
Bob Thorson, you just got edged out. So did my bud. But our three winners are Carl Mids with 966. Michael Kennedy. Congratulations, Michael. 875.
Cool.
And Mish, M-I-S-H.
Oh, cool. Okay.
879.
Mish gets around on the shows. I know who Mish is. That's cool. Hey.
So, yeah, you know, some of you did multiple guesses, and one came a little closer on like your fifth guess, but I had to take your first guess. I'm sorry, but that's, you know, fair because each person only gets one guess. But for those of you who guessed closest to 921, and please let me know if you think I'm mistaken, are Carl Mids, 966, Michael Kennedy, 875, and Mish, 879. Please email me at the email below and just let me know a mailing address and which book you want, whether it's Inside UFOs or Schoolyard UFO Encounters, or please feel free to choose another book. And I will get it to you as soon as possible. Thanks so much for playing, you guys. I know there's a lot of numbers between 1 and 1,000, but there's, you know, we got a lot of people here in chat, and we had to kind of narrow it down. We couldn't do it between 1 and 100 because, gosh,
too many people.
Maybe we should. I don't know. Maybe that would be easier.
Yeah.
I'll think about it.
Okay.
At any rate, thanks so much, you guys. What a wonderful show. Really sorry I couldn't get to all your guys' questions, but I truly appreciate all of you guys who participated tonight. We have so much fun. Just want to give a shout out to all you guys who so kindly, generously donated and helped support our show. Cherise, thank you. Namaste. I'm just awestruck, Louise. You are amazing. So wonderfully kind of you guys. Star Orchid, Bob Thorson, you just got edged out. I thought for a second there you were going to win a second book. That would have been so cool because I know you won one last time. We'll do this again, I promise. We're going to do more giveaways, so don't be too disappointed. In my opinion, thank you, Sonny Burnett, you guys. I just love you so much. Bridget Bambrick.
Thank you.
Becky Sloan, your generosity knows no bounds. Leonard Doug, you're amazing. Heidi Hansen. I just love you guys so much. So thank you guys. And yeah, we will do another Q&A as soon as possible.
Yeah. Very cool. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight on Cinco de Mayo, this beautiful Monday night. Please look for us next Monday. We will have an interesting person coming on, and I'm not going to tell you who it is, but it's very cool. We're going to do a pre-record, so we will be in chat with you while this is running. That should be fun.
Carl, don't worry about UK. I will send it to the UK. It's not a problem.
Yeah, you can send it anywhere in the world. It's not a problem.
You won, so
yeah.
It's
yeah. So thank you for coming on. We are coming to you live from the beautiful city of New Orleans in Louisiana at the United Public Radio Network at 107.7 FM and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network at 105.3 FM. We are on Facebook, we're on Roku, we're on Rumble, and of course YouTube. We love you all. Mwah. Namaste. Please be happy, and we love you, and remember that. Don't forget it. See you next Monday.